Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live streamcast. You're here to fight CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and you found me on Facebook fighting CPS, and I'm glad that you have. And it's a warm welcome to all of you that are having CPS cases. Now, I'm here to help you. I'm not an attorney, but a loving husband and a father. I've raised 6 children and have over 42 years of marriage. And I have a lot of life skills I can share with you, a lot of things that will help you. I too was involved in CPS and had to fight them. I've been fighting them for 15 years. My first 5 years were putting a stop to the allegations. They would constantly come out to me every week and would inspect my home or talk about things. I did talk to them. I did do all that. They couldn't find anything. And then one day, 5 years into my case, the people that are reporting us at that time I did not know were my in-laws, my wife's father, mother, 3 sisters, and a brother. Anyway, they got tired of it, so they hired the police to track my doings and then followed me. And then when they got me, they demanded I take them to my home and open it up. And they unfortunately took my children, which weren't in danger. It was a sad state of affairs because I lost a child because of that. I lost a home. I lost my credit. I can't get work because of what CPS has done. It's a horrible situation, this child protection system is. That's what I call CPS. It's a government entity in every state, every county, and every country. And people are being hurt by the rogue ones, the ones that are bad. Not all CPS is bad, but it's hard to determine which ones are good and which ones are bad. It's very well disguised. Now, in my case, and I was in Orange County, California, it's a bad CPS, child protection system. Now, they all have different names. In California and Orange County, it's called the Child Protection Services. Next door in LA County, it's called the Department of Children and Family Services. In Prescott, Arizona, it's called the Department of Children's Services. And in Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. So instead of trying to call all these different entities, I'm just going to call it CPS. Everybody knows what CPS, and when you Google CPS, a lot of it comes up and shows up. So I'm here to help you share what worked with me, what didn't work with me, the mistakes that I made, and also introduce you to an attorney that's very, very good, a great attorney. His name is Vincent W. Davis, and he is quite a fighter. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years, which is a long time, 39 years. Now, I'm on this live stream every day, twice a day, once in the morning at 10 a.m. and again tonight at 7 p.m. Those are all Pacific times, the West Coast of California. And on the weekends, I'm on early at 8 a.m. instead of at 10. So Saturday and Sunday, I'm on at 8. Night times all remain the same at 7. There are sometimes I have outside activity. I'll have to change my times. But I've not missed any of my podcasts. I've done 14 of them a week. And I've been doing it since October of 2023. That's over 17 months. And I work on holidays too. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day. Any day that's a holiday, I'm here. I'm here all the time. Now, good evening, Betty, and I'm so glad that you've joined me. I haven't talked to you in a couple of days, and how you're doing, Betty. I know it's been really hard for you because of the loss of your niece, and you're trying to regroup and figure out what the best plan of attack is to get your niece back. Now, we've had some new people since your last year, Betty, that have called in and had all kinds of situations. But I'm glad you're here because Betty will help you. She knows. She's a foster care mother herself. And unfortunately, she had a niece, her brother's child, that her brother and his girlfriend couldn't take care of, and so she has stepped in to be the guardianship. And now they're doing the unthinkable, where they're trying to sit there and say that the child's in danger because they're taken away from their first foster care parents. But Betty's biological related. She has blood. Her brother is the one that's the father of the child. Hello, NYP, and you're from. I know where you're from. You're from California City, California. So we have Betty from Montana, and we have NYP from California City. And they have an unusual case. Their child had 11 broken bones. They're accused of causing harm, physical abuse. But there's a disease the child had that breaks down the bones. It's like rickets. And every time you touch a bone, it breaks. So during the process of having the baby and in the baby being in a special care unit, there's a good chance the nurses broke the bones and not the parents. But the parents being wrongfully accused of breaking the bones and doing negligence or abuse to the child. Abuse to the child. Betty, what is your plans about your niece? What's the latest? Also in YP, what are the latest about your plans? I think you have a court date coming up and that you're going to fight it with the documentation that you have to support your case. Now, there's 4 ways to interact in this live stream. One of the first ways to do is to text in a message, a comment, or a question about CPS. All I ask you is give me your first name and a little bit about yourself, the city or the county the case is in, and your state. And if you're from another country, it's your country. I want to hear from on that. Now, what I mean by other countries, I have about 21 countries that participate in this live stream. I have Bangladesh, Indonesia, India, and then I have in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and Liberia, and then over the continent of Africa, I have Liberia, and then I have Sudan, and then Rwanda and Mozambique, and then down to 4 provinces in South Africa. Then up to Europe, I've had England, Scotland, and Wales, and I've had Denmark and Sweden. Then over the pond to North America, I've had 4 provinces in Canada and all 50 states of the U.S., including the District of Columbia, which is not a state, but they've all called in or text about problems. South of the border, I've had Mexico, and then further south in South America, I've had Grenada. Then I've also had across the South Pacific, I have New Zealand and the land down under Australia and 4 provinces there. So it's a wealth world of people. I had a beautiful mom from England, country code 44, that called in horrified about her case. Another mom in South Africa that was horrified by her case also. And her country code is 61. Now, I've put on up there that if you want to be a guest on my podcast, that's the 3rd way. All you have to do is email my show producer, Grace. Grace is at vincentwdavis.com. And you just have to give her the day and the time of the show. Like I want to be on Bob's Saturday show or Monday show. It's the morning time, at 10 o'clock in the morning. Or if it's 7 o'clock on the weekends. So that is the third way. Besides texting and being in the room, you can be a guest. I can take up 9 of you. I can take up 9 of you. So that works out pretty good with all 9 of you. Now, Bay says they're allowing the parents to have their visits with the termination of parental rights coming up on the 31st. So March 31st, they're going to have the termination of parental rights. How about visits with you and your niece? Now, NYP has a case come up on March 11th. Good, Betty. Good. You really are. Betty says she's going to get the doctor to get something right there. It's very important that your child grows up with a blood relative. The foster care family had taken the child in, but they're more interested in the money. They're more interested in the money. And if a child grows up with a different race, it's going to cause some problems there. I'm not trying to be racist because I think I'm colorblind anyway. Now, Betty asked me, why are you doing with your family? What are you doing with your family? Well, my family's hanging in there. I have my boys back. My daughter that was taken from me at the age of 12, she's 22 now, so that was 10 years ago. I'm trying to get the other members of the family to rejuvenate. Our boys are talking to them, but they're not talking to mom and dad. So it is kind of hard, Betty. It is kind of hard. The reason why you don't want to have any visits, they don't want you to bond with that child, which is wrong. Which is wrong. You're a blood relative with that child. Why was the NYP banned? Who banned the NYP? I don't have anybody else in my room. My producer isn't here. NYP, if you can still hear me, for some strange reason, it says you were banned and moved. I have no idea why that happened. Well, thank you, Betty, for considering me. It is a rough time now. I know that, Betty. Okay, I put my phone number up so you can call me at 626-698-0990. And I'd love to have you call me and I can talk on the speaker. I'm going to try to get a hold of my producer to find out why one of my people. Oh, there you are. Good. Grace just came in the room. I sent a question to Grace, and hopefully she'll read that. Your voice has been gone. Oh boy, that's terrible to lose your voice there, Betty. That is. I have no idea. We were talking, and all of a sudden I saw a message that says NYP was banned and her comments were removed. And no one was in my room except me. Grace just came in now, so I have no idea why they were banned. I'm going to see if Grace can help me get them unbanned or get them fixed. I have no idea why they were banned. I have no idea. Oh. Okay, Grace says she can see her, so I guess they're still in the room, but apparently I can't see them. Betty says she can't see NYP too. I don't know why we can't see them. Is there something that I hit by mistake or setting or something? I'm sorry you have the flu, Betty. That's not fun at all. The flu is terrible to have. Oh, there you are. You're blocked. Who is blocking you, NYP? I just saw that. Who is blocking you? This is strange. In all my months, I never had this happen where I'm the one that can decide who stays room or leaves, or Grace can do the same thing. Grace to do the same thing. I'm so sorry, NYP. I have no idea who's got into my room because right now I am on, and Grace, my show producer, is on, and Betty's on, and NYP's on, and there are 4 people, looks like, in the room. Let me see where they're all from. They're all from CPS Defense Strategy. So they're from the CPS Defense Strategy, which is the YouTube. The YouTube. Yeah, it is strange because I see you now, NYP. That is the most strangest thing. Grace just came in the room. I asked her, and she says she could see you. But Betty says she couldn't see you. I'm on YouTube viewing, right? Okay. And I'm broadcast on YouTube. I'm viewing too. And I have Betty and my show producer, myself, and you. We got some type of a bug in the house. That sounds terrible. You hear me okay, NYP? Yeah, prayers, right? I agree. Lots of prayers. We have Betty who has the flu, and so she is, when you have the flu, it's not fun. It's not fun. Hi, Lori Hiller. She's from Canada. She just gave me a thumbs up. She did one of the emojis, and that was nice. And so, why has the devil been busy with you lately, NYP? What is new in your case? What's new in your case? Well, thank you, NYP. I also say special prayers for all of you in my room. Every time after my show, I will sit back and say a special prayer for all my people. Yeah, the finances. I know how hard it is with finances. I know you like to hire Attorney Davis, and I like you too. I know it's hard to keep your spirits out. It really is when a family broken up. As I look back now, I'm missing one of my six children. She's growing up, and I have no idea how she's doing. I mean, I know from what my boys visit, but it's really tough. It really is tough. Yes, it is very exhausting. There's not a moment I go by. Fighting CPS has not been fun. So many of you try so hard. It's like our friend in New York, KK Richardson, Akima Richardson, who's been fighting for a long time with her child. She had a major setback. And now she's found out her kids don't want to come back to her. And when kids don't want to come back, then it really makes it hard. It really makes it hard. I agree. That's a good way to look at it, NYP. One day, our family will be united. I still dream of the time when I can have Thanksgiving and my family of eight could be together. That'd be really remarkable. Of course, my older children have children too. So my oldest son has a child, and my oldest daughters do too. So the family is growing. The family is growing. That's for sure. I do believe in God. God is the strength. God is our person that saves us. So it's really important. It's really, really, really important. Now, I've told you, four ways for this interactive podcast. One way is to just listen and take notes and text me messages, and I'll try to answer them. And when you do text, make sure you show your first name and where your case was, what city and state. If from another country, also list your country. Try to be complete with your case and tell everything there is about your case. And then, of course, another way is to be a guest on my podcast. And I'd love to have you be a guest on my podcast. I can take up to 9 of you. And being a guest or calling in, you're eligible for a free 15-minute consultation with my attorney, Mr. Davis. And he will talk to you. He'll talk to you free for 15 minutes. And if you want a longer time, he's available for 30 minutes. All you have to do is go to that website that's broadcast at the bottom of my screen. And you can talk to him for 30 minutes. And it'll cost you just $60. 30 minutes for $60. 15 minutes for free. They're both private consultation meetings. And you need to really talk to Mr. Davis because he, I feel, is the best one that can fight all your cases out there. He's been doing it for a long time. He's quite a fighter. I really recommend him. Okay, let me see what NYP is saying now. It's a beautiful thought when the families reunited. I agree. I'm sorry, but without my faith, I would be lost. I'm sorry I'm getting religious, but God has been so good to me, even though that this trial and tribulation in my life, everything happens for a reason. It's a good way to think about it, NYP. Everything has a purpose. Nothing is a mistake. God makes no mistakes. I'm so glad I found this. Well, it's not a podcast. I'm a live stream, but I'm glad you're here, NYP. And for a long time, I was calling it a podcast. I was corrected the other day that a podcast is an audio recording. A live stream is where you talk and people interact with you. I'm glad you're not going to give up because I never gave up. I got my 2 boys back. I did not. It was so discouraging. In my case, for 5 years, I was fighting them. And they wouldn't leave me alone. And then when they took my children, I tried to fight them myself, tried to use a court-appointed attorney. That didn't work. I finally sold my house and got Vincent W. Davis. And he got back my 2 boys. But my social worker, she lied, committed perjury, and Mr. Davis caught her in her lies. And so she left the court embarrassed. She told us parents, you never see your daughter again. So she told her daughter to emancipate. That means divorce your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters. Divorce all your cousins, aunts, and your grandparents. She did it all at the insistence of the social worker who's getting revenge, retaliation. That's how bad these social workers are. And it's sad. It's sad. It really is. I'm still taken by it. She's 22 now. My sons have seen her, but I've not. I've not had a chance to talk with her about anything. Yeah, refi is really hard. I don't blame you, refi. I took a lot of money to hire Mr. Davis because I wanted my boys back. And it was hard. It was really, really hard. Now it's 7:30 at night. My show goes to 8 o'clock. That means I still have a half hour for phone calls and for any of the call in. I also haven't talked about my rules. I have 5 of them. And real quickly, rule 1 is to get an attorney. Rule 2 is documentation. Rule 3 is do not talk to social workers and don't hand your child over to them. Rule 4 is how to use the internet and find the answers. And rule 5 is to make copies of all your documentation. So it's really important that you follow those rules because if I did, I would not have lost my children. I'm thinking of a short sale, but I'm trying to refinance now. Yeah, I had to do a short sale. I did a quick sale and I only got half of my house worth. It was sad. It was so sad. My house had gone up so much in value. I got half. I got the money that I actually paid when I moved in. And that was sad. I mean, when you sit there and your house has gone up in so much in value, and then you have to do it quickly sell because you want to get that money, you want to get that attorney to get your children back. That was the most tragic thing that I had to deal with is the loss of your home. I worked 45 years for that home. I worked long hours, long days, saved my nickels and dimes and got a beautiful home. And CPS caused me to lose my home. They caused so much damage to me. They ruined my credit. I can't get a job because they have CPS on my record. And they just really are bad. They really are bad. They're evil. Let me see here. Oh, we have a new person in the room. That's great. Hello, HKS Dapa Tupu. Oh boy. You're speaking a language I don't understand. That's okay. What part of the world are you from? What part of the world are you from? Um, let me wet my eyes here because apparently my eyes are starting to close here. Hold on a second here. Uh, I want to close my eyes to wet them, but it's better if I use drops because if I close my eyes, then I think you guys think I'm sleeping, but I'm not. Um, I like some questions that would help me. We have this person called HKS Tupu. Now, I don't know what part of the world you're from, but welcome. It's on Facebook. Does anybody speak that language? I put it up there in the room, and I don't know what language that is. I have never seen it before here. But welcome, HKS. Yes, you have to actually clean your records. Anytime you win CPS, you have to have a purge. I think you got to wait 7 years, but you got to purge because they will come back at you again and again and again. So the answer to your question, NYP, is you need to purge. You need to purge. HKS, the Papa 2, I don't know what that is. Let me see here. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find DPA Tapapu. Okay, DATATPUU. Hmm. DPAT, 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 DPAT. Okay. I'm trying to locate this person. A T A P P U. T A P P U. T A. HKS. I just DPAT Tapua. Okay. DPAT TAPPU. 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 Okay. Well, hopefully they will. You have to purge your records, NYP. You got to purge your records. They do stay on your case. Does anyone in this room know? Is that from what language is that? Besapi Bags de Maca. Anyway, we got someone in here that we can't really make out, and they're going to have to. Um, oh, well, whoever it was now deleted that person. Hopefully, don't delete my other people here. Betty's still here. Betty's fighting the flu. But that person that was typing in, I guess, they're gone. They're not, it says removed or anything. They were just deleted. Maybe my show producer got rid of her or got rid of them. Anyway, um, finding an attorney is a hard thing to do, but it's the best thing you got to, because if you don't have an attorney, it's like you're trying to do open heart surgery yourself. Can you imagine cutting open your body cavity and take your heart out and working on your heart? No, you need a professional to do that. Same thing goes with fighting CPS. You need a professional to fight CPS. It's really, really important that you get that professional. And we have an attorney. His name is Vincent W. Davis. He's been practicing fighting CPS for 39 years. He once was a foster kid himself. He's a trial attorney. He's well trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. He knows the full gamut, and he'll fight anywhere in the United States. He'll fight in California. He's in Arcadia, and but he'll go elsewhere. He has a case in Northern California, case in Missouri, and case in a lot of other places too. He's a trial attorney, and he's been doing this for 39 years, so he knows how to fight CPS. He's also done lawsuits. He's a fighter. He's won in both state court and federal court. So he's the real deal. Now, when you want to get an attorney, it's very important you try to get 3 quotes from 3 reputable attorneys. You should find ones that are trained and licensed in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. That's very important. So when you go on the internet searching, you want to put in the city, the state, and you're looking for and then you put in the letters CPS. It's so important that when you browse or look for it, my rule number 4 is how to use the internet wisely and spending a good many hours. I didn't, but there's so much to learn from it. And what you want to do is that you want to phrase it in a correct order of words. The first word is the city, then the state, and then you got to put the letters CPS. And after you put the letters CPS, then you can write in what specific thing you want to know in CPS. Or you leave it blank and you have a lot of information about CPS in that city and state. CPS in that city or state. Now, you should get at least 3 attorneys, and one of them should be Mr. Davis. He's easy to talk to. You can get a free 15-minute just by being a guest on my podcast or calling in. And you can talk to him for 30 minutes, just paying $60. He'll talk to you for 30 minutes. But you need to know his references, and you need to know if the chemistry is going to work between you both. It's real important to have good chemistry. Without the good chemistry, it can be really tough. It can really be tough. Now, the second rule I have is documentation. And you really should document everything because you'll need it against them. And one of the most important document is to create on a piece of paper a time log incident. You see, you get this notebook 3 to 4 inches thick, and you hole punch all your paperwork. You get dividers, and you space out your subject dividers in the notebook, and you organize all your papers and everything. And what you can do is that you can make a page or a bunch of pages because you're going to have a lot of these incidents and use 3 lines per incident. First line will be the phone number, when and the date and time you called, where you called, and who was involved in the call. The second line will be a summary of what the incident was. And then the third line is about the outcome of the incident. If you don't know it, leave it blank, come back later and fill it out. But you need to do this for every incident that you run across because there's a lot of terms you'll not understand, a lot of things you'll understand. So it's really important that you do this. Now, hello, Cruel. And I'm so glad you came tonight. Cruel is from Ventura, California. And she calls me Uncle Bob, which is great. She's been here a long time. Quick comment for you before my phone dies. Oh no, your phone's going to die. I got a letter in the mail from my court appointed appellate attorney. Is there anything worth mentioning about the mail being addressed to Nancy Holland instead of to Felicia Holland? I don't know who that name is or what that means. So it's very important if the mail is addressed correctly, because if your name's not Nancy, then you don't want to respond to it. The mail price further goes on in 3 different documents enclosed, also addressed to me as Nancy Holland. Well, if your name's not Nancy Holland, you don't need to respond, but you got to find out who is Nancy Holland you're referring to. Well, if you don't know who Nancy is, you need to write on the front of the envelope, return to sender. No one by that name lives here. Return to sender. No one by that name lives here. They could have got the name from somebody else. So all you have to do is send it back. The postage you'll return to sender. If you haven't opened it up, you can return it. You reuse the postage and send it back. Felicia says, and this is cruel, by the way, I think she just made the continuance mistake of entering my name incorrectly. I've spoken with her in the past, and she acknowledged me as Felicia. Okay, well, you said your name is Felicia, Cruel. That's your first name. Now, are we talking about the social worker when you say you've spoken with her in the past? Is that the social worker that you're referencing to? Now, I have about 2 minutes left here, you guys, and I got to start cleaning up the live stream here. So what that means is that I'm going to start turning down. The first thing I do is I take down my phone number, because I can't take any calls right now because we're going to be closing down here really shortly. It's 7:49. So I want to thank Felicia, who just came in, and thank you for being here. Hopefully tomorrow you'll come in a little bit earlier. NYP, I'm so glad that you're here, and God bless you. You said sweet words. And Betty Joe from Montana, thank you. And I hope your flu gets better. My prayers go out to you. God bless you all. And I want to thank you all for the emojis. Lori Heller, that was nice. And I will see you all tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This is Bob Pace saying God bless you all, and keep fighting for your kids. I'm signing off.